Avengers the video game. This game was supposed to be a big success. Of course, we're still going to see what happens during the holidays, if this game can rebound during the holidays. But the Avengers game is a failure. It's a failure, no one less. Basically, we all know what went behind the scenes. Marvel was the one that really decided the story. It wasn't really the creators who made this game didn't really have much creative freedom in making this game, of what I heard from leaks and rumors. But Marvel's Avengers has lost 96% of its players since launch date, and now is struggling to break 1,000 players. It has been reported that Marvel's Avengers lost 96% of its player count on PC since September launch. The game got decently favorable reviews when it launched, but immediately flagged afterwards. The game's live service content wasn't engaging enough to keep people hooked. Only a month after the game launched, it kept losing players fast. Again, I bet another reason why is because dual games kept coming out and out, like Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed. But the main reason why is because nobody likes Miss Marvel. They keep making out Miss Marvel as this, big character. She's this amazing character that everybody loves. No one likes Miss Marvel. I'm sorry to tell you that, Square Enix, and especially Marvel and Disney. They were the ones who pushed to have Miss Marvel a main character in this game. Nobody likes her and nobody cares about her. Okay? No one's gonna be watching her movie either. To be clear, developer Crystal Dynamics worked to remedy this issue to make characters look more appealing. Unfortunately, the team has ran in hot waters, forcing players to pre-order the game and will participate in the beta. Of course, PS4 favoritism was of course the biggest controversy yet. Spider-Man will be introduced post-launch, but only in PS4 versions because of the Sony's ownership of the characters. Even full coverage of the Xbox versions and PC versions are inferior to the PS4 version of this, and fans weren't sad about making the outrage zone. So yep, that as well. But the PC players have dwindled below 1,000. No one wants to play a game where they locked one character to only one console, and of course, they completely, put a character that nobody wants, as the main character, it's just absolutely hilarious. Of course, digital copies, that's probably mostly on PC, because most PC players does play games digitally because they don't want to have to, because PC gamers don't collect games, they just get games on Steam. That's how it's always been for PC gamers for the past 10 years, and I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. Of course, there are physical versions of PC games. There are people who still collect PC games physically, but most PC gamers just play games digitally. And the lack of compelling content about players and story campaign long enough, it wasn't compelling them to keep them engaged afterwards. A recent update introduced a new endgame system to form in the challenge of trade count rifts, which finally engaged players with reason to play the game. But even then, it still didn't work. No one likes Miss Marvel, glitches and bugs, no content, and that is basically the problem of a modern game. Okay, of course, Nintendo can get away with that, like of Splatoon. But big AAA companies can't really get away with that anymore. You need to have a game that is as business as as Avengers to be big. Okay, I think if they made the marketing a bit better for the Avengers game, like showing Iron Man, Hulk beating up some people, Thor beating up some people, the main cast of the Avengers beating up people, main Avengers from the first Avengers game. I think this game would have sold way better than it did. Of course, the holidays have still yet to come, and of course, I expect this game to sell a lot of copies during the holidays, because boomers are going to say, "Oh look, little Jimmy loves the Avengers. I gotta get the Avengers game." And I think that's probably what's gonna really, save this game from being an absolute disaster. Is the boomers, who don't pay attention to gaming news, who do not care about gaming news. We're talking about the uninformed people, basically here, and the boomers and the old people, grandpas and grandpas, who don't know much about games, who don't know anything about games and stuff, and don't really pay attention to gaming news or gaming stories, and they will just buy anything that is popular or has a big name behind it. That's why you still see these licensed games released for the PS4 and Xbox based off movies, like for example Jumanji the video game got released alongside Jumanji the Next Level, because they know at least uninformed people will still buy a cow's feet a game, as well also released. They haven't released, I'm surprised they didn't release a Toy Story 4 the video game, despite the last 3 Toy Story movies getting a video game based off of it. But, I'm surprised game developers don't do this. Is release games based on popular IPs to do it. They used to do it a lot for in the 2000s. Yeah, there were all these licensed games. Yeah, licensed games have mostly disappeared. And have mostly they've been trying to make quality games instead of just making this garbage like they used to all the time. For example, they made like a 4 game. That one was a horrible Captain America game. Like in 2011, they were still making these games, but they kind of just abandoned it to just crappy mobile games with summon feature and stuff. Instead of just making a game for each individual movie, we're also probably seeing games like, actually that one been cool. Read about Angel game, but we were probably seeing Avengers Infinity War, the official video game, Endgame, the official video game, and stuff. But yeah, I think the misinformed people will still come out in mass these holidays from Black Friday to Christmas. Again, it could be opposite, and people finally starting to pay attention to the news about games. But I think the casual audience is really going to save this game. Which, again, they stopped buying around Black Friday and stopped buying around the day before Christmas. So, and buy games in mass. And I think Avengers is going to be one of those games that's going to be saved by the casual audience as a whole. And especially and also let's not forget the game's also coming out next year as well. And who knows how well that version will sell. So, that's basically it. Goodbye.